If you're already comfortable with basic audio editing, but you want to take your sound design to that next level, you have to approach it like an artist. I'm Cass from Track Club, and today let's dive into the art of audio editing to really elevate your projects. So understanding things like different frequency ranges, dynamic control, spatial positioning, and when to be subtle versus when to make bold creative choices, these are all essential elements to audio editing. But remember that editing itself can't save your audio, and so that's why it's so important to prep your space even before you hit record. You'll want to make sure that you're in a quiet location that has minimal background noise and echo. You can use blankets or different types of soundproofing materials to reduce reflections, or if you're recording outside, using a windscreen can really help reduce any harsh noises. And of course, having a good microphone matters. A lot of built-in mics can get the job done, but investing in high-quality equipment is going to give you that professional level of clarity and depth. The angle and the placement of your microphone also really affects the sound, and so make sure that you're running tests and reviewing all of your audio recordings to make sure everything sounds good. And when it comes to audio editing, EQ is probably the most powerful tool to carve out some space and make sure that everything's clear. And how you EQ really depends on each person's voice. It can take some trial and error to see which frequencies you should be cutting and boosting. But in general, most voiceovers and dialogue don't really need these super low-end frequencies around like the 0 to 100 hertz range. So just adding a high-pass filter can really clean that up. And a lot of nasally sounds tend to come from the 200 to 600 hertz range. And so just cutting wherever you hear that congestion can really help open up your voice. Then around 4,000 to 8,000 hertz, you'll want to check for any harsh frequencies or sibilants. Think of the hissing sounds that come from words with the letter S, or just anything that sounds really sharp to your ears. Within this range, you'll want to get a little bit more detailed and surgical with your EQing so you don't lose the presence of your voice. Or you can also use a de-esser to target those frequencies instead. And so after you've cleaned up your audio, you can use effects like reverb, pitch modulation, and distortion to really get creative with your audio editing. These effects can enhance the atmosphere of your video, create some really unique soundscapes, and overall just deepen emotions to create a more immersive experience for the viewer. And so for example, in the scene, I added this water running sound, but it just sounded a bit unnatural. And so to open up the room, I added some reverb and adjust some of these settings to make it sound like I actually recorded the sounds in this location. And in this next scene, I added this heartbeat sound effect, and I couldn't really hear it because it's pretty bass heavy. So I just pitched it up a couple semitones. And then I also did a little bit of EQing to really emphasize that high end. Once you have all of your effects ready, you'll want to automate them too. And that's really the key to making everything more dynamic. You can add and control movement by adjusting the volume in different parts of your video, panning left to right, and just playing around with different settings and timing. For example, in this project, I didn't want the music to be the same level of loudness through the whole video. So I used automation to lower the volume of the music where I wanted other sounds to stand out more, and I brought it back up when I wanted to emphasize the soundtrack. And when you're editing audio, just keep in mind that the songs and the sounds that you choose really dictate the whole vibe. And even one wrong choice can kill the entire experience for the viewer. And so just make sure that you're being really intentional about your sound selection and using them in a way that emphasizes what's already in the frame without taking away from the moment and distracting from the story. So aside from just sound selection, you also want to make sure that you're timing your audio right. If what's happening on the screen doesn't match what the viewers are listening to, it can be really disorienting. So just play around with different effects and options to see how you can make a more cohesive and immersive experience. And to get full creative control over your audio, Track Club lets you download individual stems of every song in the catalog so you can fine-tune each layer to perfectly fit your project. Track Club features a catalog of authentically crafted, high-quality music and sound effects that are licensed for use on all platforms. You can search through different moods and genres to find what you're looking for and make it your own in MixLab by adjusting, muting, or soloing individual instruments and changing BPM. Sound drives the viewing experience just as much as visuals do, and audio editing gives you the power to shape it however you want. It's an art that combines creativity with technicality, and so don't be afraid to experiment with different effects and tools to really bring out your own style. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, leave us a like down below and check out our channel for more audio tips.